Runners are at the start. 2 minutes out, race 6. Yeah, it's a very even race, this one. Tempo dependent, really. Bookman and Redabout might be the two front runners in the race. Bookman's well in the market. Redabout's a roughie. It just depends how hard they go or whether another jockey decides to chance their arm and go with them. I was prepared to tip Bo Ribbon again. I was in his corner at Donald the other day. Ran well off an inside gate. It was a bit of a blanket finish in the end. He wasn't far off them. And again, now having a few runs for David Hill. This will be his 5th run for the stable. I was prepared to stick with him in a pretty tough race. So they're just starting to move them into the stalls here. Toes in first. Going up into a middle gate. Inside draw, Vampire Miss is ready. Melissa Kate, gate 2. So the first 2 or 3 have been loaded. Mr. George's stablemate, Toes in first, who was a big odds winner at Warwick Nabil a couple of runs ago. Deficit has joined them, who's one of the firmer runners in the market. Bookman goes up into a middle draw. Mr. Delightful for Tom Madden, who's ridden a winner today. So the last few getting set for race 6. Redabout in, last couple coming along. Patrick Sherlock plumbing handicap over the 1600. So Little Richie Turf, a middle gate. And the Satisfier the outside, and the field looks ready. 1600. The Satisfier's not quite in. Now the lights turned on, and I think now they're set. Bit of movement near the inside with Vampire Miss and Bookman just trying to get up a bit in the stalls. Now the signal's given and they're underway. Little Richie Turf was slow out, so too was Redabout. Melissa Kate bounced out well. And just for the moment had the lead from Vampire Miss and Toes on first. Deficit is there in close attendance as well. And they were followed next in the field by Bo Ribbon as they made their way along the back. Mr. Delightful centre field, and then came Little Richie Turf. Towards the back is the Satisfier, and Redabout after a slow start is the final one. So up front as they move towards the 1,000-metre mark, Bo Ribbon and Melissa Kate go together in the lead. They're 2 lengths in front of Bookman third, Toes in first in fourth. Then came Deficit, followed by Vampire Miss over closer to the fence from Miss Delightful. Then the Satisfier and Little Richie Turf, and Redabout is the last one at the 750. So Melissa Kate down the side, a half-length leader on Bo Ribbon, and the front pair have escaped a little bit on the rest. About 4 lengths to Toes in first, and Bookman, followed by Deficit and Vampire Miss. Miss Delightful and the Satisfier, Little Richie Turf, and Redabout is last as they come down to the home turn. And it's Melissa Kate with Bo Ribbon. They're locked together. 2.5 in front of Bookman and Toes in first. Deficit to the outside is making some ground now. And then came Vampire Miss and the Satisfier. Bo Ribbon reached the lead from Melissa Kate. Deficit still running on. Bookman there. And then Toes in first. Bo Ribbon getting tired. Deficit goes to him with 150 to go and hit the lead. Then Bookman and Melissa Kate. Deficit drew about a length in front though over Bo Ribbon and came clear. And Deficit home, a 2-length winner in the end over Bo Ribbon with Bookman third. Fourth is either Vampire Miss or Little Richie Turf in front of Toes in first. Melissa Cape was next, and then the Satisfier, Read About, and last in was Miss Delightful. So Deficit was just moving into the race at the right time here. The 8 after settling around midfield and has carried on with it in the home straight to score to give Neil Farley his second win of the day, and was probably the well-backed runner of the race, starting an equal favourite at the jump. Number 8, Deficit, defeats Bow Ribbon, number 3 in second. Bookman runs third. And a fourth, looks like it'll go to Vampire Miss. So 8, 3, 1 and 6 will be the interims. 8, 3, 1 and 6. Deficit number 8. Winners a 7-year-old by Schnitzel, trained by Dean Saxon and was ridden by Neil Farley. Defeats 3, Bow Ribbon, who's by Nicker Noise, David Hill, Ryan Hurdle. And 1, Bookman in third is by Extravagant for David Noonan and Dylan Dean. 4th, Vampire Miss, and 5th was Little Richie Turf. The margins are 2 lengths by 3/4. 1:37.43 was the time for the race.
Guys, we're going to have a couple of chats with a few trainers. One of those that we're going to speak to is JD Hayes, because of course we saw Pro Aussie. He was really up on his toes. He's gone out now with Kobe Jennings and with the pony as well. But hearing from the team, they were saying that this is what he's often like. He can be his own worst enemy. I'm just going to grab JD just for a really quick comment. We're going to speak to Debbie Delphin as well. JD, obviously we've seen that he's been pretty up and about. We know that he can be a lot like that, but any concerns with how he's been obviously just getting out on the track?
Nah, that's sort of Pro Aussie for you. A bit of a quirky horse. It's a new environment for him, first time here at Benalla. He's a bit difficult to lead, but he's a lot better once the jockey gets on the back, so that's why we took Kobe down the back there and put him on. Once Kobe was on his back and he went with the pony, he was much more settled, and just watching him go to the gates now is all looking like it's going the right direction.
Expecting that he's going to be suited out in trip as well, given that he can run his race a little bit early sometimes?
Yeah, definitely. He's a lovely Presea. He's a lovely bodied horse. We always thought he would go out to 2,000 metres, but it's obviously taken...
It's Will. I've been told you're Will.
That's right.
No, that's terrible.
I could be JD if you want.
Greg Hill's been told, well, this is terrible. Greg Hill. Hilly, you've stuffed it. Our cameraman who's never got any... Hilly, come here for a sec. Come here for a sec. That's horrible. All right, well, Will, let's go. I was thinking through that you've had a nice, sweet voice.
Yeah, that's right. There's normally about 5 kilos between me and JD, but that's all right.
Is it getting a bit closer these days or not really?
Oh, definitely, yeah, for sure. Especially since I went amiss with my leg. It's been a healthy paddock. But no, out to 2,000, black earmuffs off is going to be the question mark. It's taken a while to get him out to the trip just because he does a lot wrong and he's his own worst enemy.
You guys don't have many with the black earmuffs on from the side?
No. Change that we typically use in races. So, yeah, it's for occasions for sure.
We're going to be speaking to the team before leading up for the Cup, but Plymouth looks really nicely placed. Obviously got a lot of class and have been around some great horses. But any concern? Well, you actually must be pretty happy with seeing that their horses have been able to make up a bit of ground today.
Albeit very firm, it's playing quite evenly. So it'll be interesting to see what this 2,000 metre event does. As it's going to be the first one looking at a bit more ground, but very happy.
Overloaded Pro Aussie and Trade Works. Overloaded Pro
Thanks
Aussie
very much,
and
Thank you.
Trade Works. Dreamstone. Dreamstone overloaded. Dreamstone overloaded. Trade Works Pro Aussie. Lord Devonish Pro Aussie, Trade Works, Dreamstone and overloaded. Lord Devonish. Sacrifice. Vistetto. Pro Aussie, Vistetto. M Factor. Sacrifice, Vistetto, Trade Works. Lord Devonish overloaded, Dreamstone. Arriving at the gates for the Riverbank Farm Handicap here. 3, 4, 6, 11 and 14 out of the Riverbank Farm over the Cup trip, 2100. Riverbank Farm just over the road. They stand many stallions. Redonte, he's been one of the most underrated in the state. Everyone joining us just about in unison here for the Riverbank Farm, where Redonte stands, and Boulder City, and the Prince of Caviar over there. They're going in well. 270 Sacrifice, 320 M Factor. 7 Dreamstone, 750 Pro Aussie. Cup trip for the Riverbank Farm, benchmark 62 Affair. Lord Devonish to come up into line. And we'll be set to go. Tunes are rocking out the back. The crowd's big. They're asking for you, Salts. Field set. They're off now. Am Factor off the inside jumped okay with Dreamstone. Vastetto just getting a little bit tight for room there as pressing on now Pro Aussie, and wider on the track Lord Devonish from the car park starts to come across. Next in the race then was the Riverbank Farm horse in Dashing Donkey, who's trying to get in, but they don't want to let it at the moment. Sacrifice next. Am Factor along the inside of Dreamstone, followed by Vastetto, about 4 lengths to Trade Works and 3 to Overload, who went back to a clear conspicuous last. They go into the back straight here, and Pro Aussie went to the front and put the brakes on, so Dreamstone whips around to join it, and they do up the tempo. But Pro Aussie will give way to Dreamstone at the 1400 metre mark. Lord Devonish slots in third in front of Am Factor and the favourite Sacrifice. He's fifth in the run. The speed seems okay. 2 lengths to Dashing Donkey, Vastetto. Trade Works and Overloaded are back at the tail. Down the back, Dreamstone Let's Stride, 4 lengths in front at past the 1100 metre mark. Make it 5 to Pro Aussie. Its rider had a look around underneath him to see where the rest of them were at the 1,000. And he will see Lord Devonish about 3 further back coming off the rails. Am Factor up on the fence. Sacrifice got itself off the rails, then Vastetto. Followed further back then to Dashing Donkey, Trade Works and Overloaded. Was last of all. Every post a winner for Dreamstone. It's in a different race to the others for now, but it's being ridden along by the same token. 5 lengths in front of Pro Aussie and Sacrifice, who lead the chase. Am Factor next. Lord Devonish flat. Dashing Donkey to the outside. Vastetto, Overloaded, and then Trade Works. Dreamstone starting to dig post holes at a rapid rate before the turn. And Sacrifice loomed as large as life now and took over. Getting out of the ruck was Am Factor. Pro Aussie battles on. Then Vastetto. Sacrifice. He's been on his own in front for a long way now. Trying to close in. Am Factor. Overloaded is coming from the back, but Sacrifice keeps up the gallop. Overloaded sprints into second. Sacrifice, though, he's going to win, and he's going to win well. Sacrifice wins the Riverbank Farm, a length on Overloaded. Am Factor third. Fourth, I'm not sure, Dashing Donkey or Dreamstone, who battled on really well. They're in there for fourth. They held off Vastetto, Pro Aussie, and further back Trade Works and Something Amiss with Lord Devonish had finished along last. Good win, that Sacrifice. Got left in front further than she probably would have liked, Linda Meach. They've sort of folded up all around her, but he showed no signs of stopping the big 4-year-old gelding by Justify from a Hcap mare. Emerald Bloodstock bred horse. He's got a stack of owners though. Annabelle and Rob Archibald from the Flemington base. 2 Sacrifice. Wins it nicely. Overloaded has really rattled home. Number 10, Gerald Egan, Billy Egan, the 6-year-old by Overshare. Ridden patiently, he's hit the line hard. Am Factor number 1 gets third. Brad Rawilla for Mark and Levi Kavanagh. 8 got the 4th, Dreamstone. It battled on well. It looked like it was going to run a long last on the home turn, but it continued to keep on keeping on. 2, 10, 1 and 8 are the interim numbers. 2, 10, 1 and 8. 13 running officially 5th. Time 2:09.68. 2:09.68. Sacrifice a return around 250 and 140. They didn't miss. Was favourite and best backed. Overloaded a place should pay of 320 and Am Factor 140. Winning margin was a length and a half, second and third. 2, 10, 1 and 8. Neil Varley's looking after the Archibald horse. Here he is, the legend with gate.